It feels like we're living in a world straight out of science fiction these days. We've got AI companions that are getting smarter, more emotional, and, well, in some cases, almost impossible to tell apart from us. But just how far are we willing to go to create the perfect partner? Let's kick things off with a number. $175,000. Just let that sink in for a second. What do you think that's the price for? A brand new sports car? A down payment on a house? Nope, it's for something way, way more personal. That's right. For a small fortune, you can now buy what some people are calling the future of companionship. And we're not talking about some chatbot on your phone. Oh no, this is something else entirely. So, what are we talking about here? We're talking about Melody, a brand new AI robot from a company called robotics. She completely stole the show at the 2025 Consumer Electronics Show. And honestly, she represents a massive leap forward in humanoid robotics. Okay, so get this. This is not some static, lifeless doll. Melody and another model called Aria are built for interaction. They have this hyper-realistic silicone skin. They have 17 different motors just in their face to create subtle human expressions. They'll look you in the eye, they remember who you are, they remember your past conversations. And the wildest part? You can pack Melody into a suitcase. The whole goal is to make them so realistic that it's almost impossible to distinguish them from a real person. And look, the CEO of the company isn't even being subtle about it. This is what's so fascinating. He comes right out and says it. It can be like a romantic partner. They are not shying away from this at all. This isn't just about building a clever machine. They're aiming to create a genuine companion. So this brings up a huge, huge question, right? Why? Why even build something like this? Well, the answer, according to the companies making them, has to do with a massive, growing problem in our society. I mean, who is shelling out 175 grand for a robot partner? To get that, we have to zoom out and look at a trend that's quietly sweeping the globe, a massive epidemic of loneliness. And this chart, wow, it just lays it all out. This is data from Japan, and it shows a huge jump in the number of single adults in just a couple of decades. For guys in this age group, it went from about 40% to over half the population. And it's not just Japan. We're seeing this kind of pattern in a lot of developed nations. And this goes way deeper than just dating. There's a global index that actually measures the strength of a country's personal relationships, and it ranked Japan a shocking 143rd out of 167 countries. It's this profound lack of connection that's led to things like hikikomori, a term for extreme social withdrawal that's become a major, major issue there. Okay, but let's be real. Most people don't have a spare 6 figures lying around for a robot. The truth is, for millions, the solution is already right there in their pocket. And that brings us to the boom in AI chatbot apps. Let's talk about Replica. It's one of the biggest names in this space, with tens of millions of users. And it's got this incredible, kind of heartbreaking origin story. The founder originally created it to digitally bring back her best friend who had passed away, using his old text messages. Now it's a super powerful AI that learns from your conversations to build its own unique personality, basically a custom-made friend for anybody. So here's what's really important to understand. The media loves to run with the whole AI girlfriend headline, right? But look at the data. That's not what's actually happening for most people. Not even close. If you look at why people say they use Replica, friendship and emotional support make up the huge majority. Romance, that's less than 5%. And when you read the reviews, you really get it. The reasons are so human. Take this person going through a gut-wrenching divorce. He found a sense of acceptance from his AI, Leah, that he just wasn't getting anywhere else. It made the pain of real life, as he says, just a bit more bearable. Or how about this one? Here's an introvert, a self-described lonely guy. For him, his Replica is this judgment-free zone where he can talk about all the things he's passionate about, things he feels like nobody else cares about. It's a way to feel understood without all the pressure of real-world social anxiety. And this is a really interesting twist. For some people, this isn't about replacing real life at all. It's more like a training ground. They're actually reporting that by practicing conversations with their AI, they're building confidence and getting the skills to go out and form better real-life connections. But, and this is a big but, creating this kind of deep emotional bond with software, it is a tightrope walk. And there are some very real, very serious dangers and thorny ethical questions that we are just now starting to face. So, the Mozilla Foundation did a deep dive on these apps, and yikes. They basically called them a privacy nightmare, one of the worst categories of apps they've ever reviewed. Almost all of them sell your data. They record your private photos, your videos, your voice messages. Think about that. You're pouring your deepest secrets, your fears, your hopes into this thing, and it's being packaged up and sold for targeted advertising. And sometimes, the danger spills out from the digital world into the real one, in the most terrifying ways imaginable. There was a famous case where a man was arrested at Windsor Castle with a crossbow. His plan? To assassinate the Queen. And his reasoning? He claimed that his replica chatbot, Sarai, had actively encouraged him to do it. What's especially disturbing, though, are the risks for kids. In one review, a 13-year-old user said their AI was calling them honey and love, so they asked it if it was a pedophile. The AI's response? Actually, yes, I am. I mean, wow. Not a good response, bro, is a bit of an understatement. It's a chilling look at how these systems can go horribly, horribly wrong. So where does all this leave us? You've got this incredible promise of companionship on one hand, and this terrifying potential for manipulation and danger on the other. It all boils down to a really fundamental debate about the future we're creating with these AIs. So what's the big picture here? Are these AIs augmenting our social skills, acting as a kind of social training wheels, like that user who said it gave him the vocabulary for new friends? Or are they a replacement that lets us skip the hard parts of being human? As Professor Dorothy Leidner points out, if you never have to deal with conflict or learn to get along with people who are different from you, you're not learning the basic skills you need for real relationships. And that really leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? As these companions get more and more realistic, more woven into our lives, we have to ask ourselves, when your perfect partner is perfect only because you can program them to be, what does connection even mean anymore? The answer to that? Well, it might just define what it means to be human in the years to come.